What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's time to exercise the demons. Let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Welcome in, everybody. This is the A2D Radio Sixers Celtics Game 5, second half live reaction show. And we are brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NBA contests, daily MLB contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D, and you get $50 right at sign up. You can download FanUp on the Apple Store. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, we appreciate you tuning in. And it's time to exercise the demons, as I started it off with. All right, we haven't won a Game 5 in forever, and it's time to change that tonight. It's time to change it, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. Obviously, react to the rest of this game. Sixers up 12 right now, and we're about 6.5 left to go in the third. We'll do a Sixers-Celtics post-game. We'll give you our players of the game, and we will preview Game 6 once this game goes final. And our main topic is obviously Sixers, Celtics, Game 5 reaction. So as we go to a quick commercial break here, and I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be going to the line right when we were doing the intro here. So Sixers a chance to go back up 14. They've been able to hold on to this throughout this basketball game, right? Their energy over the last two games has been different. Their ball movement's been better. They're hitting open shots. They look confident. As an offense, as a team, and they've just been aggressive with Boston, right? And I think the rest have gotten their fingerprints way too much on this series a little bit at times, but the Sixers are playing aggressive, and they're playing the style of basketball we've been waiting for them to play, and it just needs to continue, right? Because even after tonight, the series isn't over, right? So you got to not only take care of tonight, you got to take care of another one, but let's start with winning a Game 5 and seeing where this goes. You know, Joel's been good. I think James has been really good. Maxey had a really good first quarter and a half, and Tobias has been aggressive, and the rest of the pieces have just fit in, right? I would like to see Daniel House make a three early in the game. He had a wide open look. I think it would have put us up like 17 if he made it, and it rimmed in and out. And I'm like, oh man, if you make that, you know tonight's really your night. But listen, the Sixers have brought their energy. Can they sustain it for another 18 minutes? That's going to be the question, 18 and a half minutes. And if they do, we're going up 3-2 in this series. So I'm excited with the effort. I don't know. Before this series started, nobody's giving us a chance. We're 7.5 goddamn dog in a Game 5 in a 2-2 series. Think about that. Vegas told you Sixers got no right winning this basketball game. That's how they look at us. That's how everybody looks at us. They say, oh, the big bad Celtics. Well, guess what? Screw the Celtics. I'm tired of them. All right. Go be the basketball team we knew was different all year long tonight. Go be that team again.
While you were doing the ad reads in your intro, Tom, thing flashed on the screen. Teams that go on to win Game 5 go on to win the series 82% of the time. It's crucial for all the reasons you stated, for all the reasons we've stated before. Tobias Harris has been tremendous tonight. Tremendous. And we talked about it. You guys talked about it on Sunday. We've talked about it, I'm sure, separately, off the air, that if you're going to win this series, forget about just winning tonight, which is crucial. Winning this series and kind of making it a best-of-3 series, obviously tonight, Game 6, and then if it matters, a Game 7, you need one of, if not both, Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey to have those it-type games, right? Tobias has been very consistent. I would say he's gone a little bit quiet in this series. He had a tremendous first series, right? Tyrese, he's really had that first game, and then he's been kind of terrible since. What's crucial, we came on, it was right before we came on, Tobias Harris gets hit with that fourth foul. That's going to be, I don't want to say the deciding factor of the game, right? Because obviously Joel, Harden, and Maxey are very important, but Tobias Harris is having one of those games, and I don't know how much we're going to see him for the next 8-9 minutes of game time.
Yeah, and he's not even having just one of those games either. It's the defensive Tobias Harris that you miss even more than the offensive side. And I think that's what people have missed over the last year and some change. Is that side of Tobias Harris. Now, important is it seems like everybody else defensively for the Celtics can be aggressive. Marcus Smart can do whatever he wants, but Tobias can't be aggressive. And that's what I don't like. Officiate to the game, don't officiate to the player. And that's when I hate when they get their fingerprints on it. Tobias Harris was in foul trouble in game 2, which led to a Sixers loss, and now back in foul trouble tonight. And I don't think he's done anything egregious. It's not like Tobias, stop foul. It's just physical playoff basketball, which should be allowed and should be wanted. And it seems like, when it comes to the Sixers and compared to the Celtics, they sort of let them be a little bit more aggressive defensively. So
I completely agree. Big rim out by Tatum, by the way, on that previous possession.
Gotta shoot it, need it, missed it. Sixers still up 14, under 6 to go here in the third. That's nothing.
What's that better not have been called a foul.
No, I don't think it was.
Okay.
It's out of bounds. Out of bounds, Celtics ball.
I'm sorry. I just assume everything's a foul.
He got hit. Tyrese got hit in the mouth, it looked like.
Mm-hmm. No, you just got to hang on, Tom. If you're the Sixers, right, you got to do the little things well. You made a great point. Was that Jaylen Brown again right there?
Yeah, it's always Jaylen Brown.
Good point. Another guy who, again, he's got 3 fouls. Again, we were thinking okay, maybe that could be a deciding factor, against the Celtics, but then
they don't let him get in foul trouble.
No. Nope. That should be 2 to the line, right?
Right.
Right.
It's like I talked about it on Sunday. I'm going to leave out the R word, but it's a lot of pillage.
Oh yeah.
Celtics can pillage and do all that. Pillage with a side of pillage, and when we get up in the shorts, it's like we're not allowed to. There were some fouls called after a miss. Like I don't care. You want to blow the whistle, blow it. Fine. Don't blow it after the miss, man, because that makes it look like it didn't look like a foul, but since he missed it, now I'm going to call it a foul, and that's the stuff I don't like, and I don't want to be like Mr. I'm always going to roast the refs. But listen, when you can see it clear as day, why are you trying to keep them in the game? If they didn't come to play tonight, don't try to keep them in this basketball game.
No, don't reward a bad shot. That's all we ask. We ask for consistency. And Reggie Miller even said something in the moment. He said, that drives me crazy. He said, if you're not going to call it in the moment, don't call it after he misses it. That's it.
Brogdon for 3.
Yeah, don't need him going.
Missed it. Rebound Harden. He's done a good job rebounding. I got to give him credit for that. This whole basketball team has. Toby was like a baby Dennis Rodman.
Oh my God! And he struggled at times with the rebounding. Right? We've talked about how he's like a soft rebounder at times. Tonight he's been tremendous with
good
that.
Look.
Go on, Tyrese.
Movement.
Yes.
That a baby. He's had a lot of big. Look at you, Toby. I see you. I see we're exercising a lot of demons. Here, let's finish. Keep the foot on the gas. That's all you got to do. If your energy stays up, Boston doesn't have a shot in this basketball game. If your energy stays up, right? I didn't say they didn't have a shot. If your energy stays up, your closeouts continue, and he buries the 3. Jayson Tatum for 3.
That was kind of a must make by them.
Yeah, I mean they're still down 14. So if they want to trade baskets, I'm all for trading baskets. You can't allow the 9-10-0 run. That's what you have to avoid.
We can't allow a replicant of Sunday. Nice.
Attaboy, Joe. Attaboy.
No more knee brace, Tom. No more knee brace. We got the mini sleeve now.
Sixers up 16. And, people always want to talk about not like you or anything like that, but Jesus.
Well,
that's not an offensive foul. Like Joel goes 40 feet backwards.
Saw a little of this, Tom.
But people want to talk about Sixers blew leads in game 4. If everybody wants to really be honest about it, the Celtics blew the biggest lead of the game. The Celtics did.
Yeah, up 6, up 9.
Well, they were up 5 with under 2 minutes to go.
Oh, there you go, PJ and D'Anthony.
So they were up 5 with under 2 minutes to go. That game was over.
Oh,
That game's a wrap. And they let us off the hook. Attaboy, Joe.
No one can stop him when he makes that shot. No one can freaking stop him.
Back up 16. And I think I don't think people looked at it like that, right? They just look like, oh, we had a 16-point lead. Well, we still won the game, right? That's how I always look at it. Like, we still won the game. That's all that matters, right? Like, if you're able to hold on and win, we didn't hold on and win. They took the lead, and then they recoughed it to us, and that's showed me a lot about the Sixers' mental toughness in the fourth quarter and in an OT.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Tom. By the way, Peyton Pritchard in the game, so this is Missoula kind of like, okay, not throwing anything at the wall and seeing if it sticks, but kind of like, okay, let's see if somebody can get hot and pull like a Lonnie Walker, right?
Well, let me see if I get some offense. I mean, that's what he's looking for.
Yeah.
Right? If you look at their scoring outputs in the first two quarters and now here in the third, Harden for three and a call and the foul.
That's a foul.
There's four, Jaylen. There's four. There's four. Harden on the line again for three. Again for three. And that's what happens when you're cooking. When you're cooking and you have games in a series where you cook, you start to get those. And that's a foul anyway. I mean, that's clear as day.
100%.
I don't know what he's crying about. Joel 9 for 22, 29, 2 for 6 from 3, 5 boards. Tobias right now is our second leading scorer, tied with Maxey with 16, and then Harden's about to, you would assume, surpass that going to the line here for 3. Only 4 for 7, right? Hasn't shot a bunch, but 7 boards 6 times, right? And you take that. That's what you're looking for, because other guys have stepped up and he hasn't needed to. 2 turnovers. We only have 4 as a team. That's really impressive. We know the horrors that has been the TD Garden. We know all about them. We've been around for a minute. We remember, turnover city. We go there and turn the ball over 18 times. Like, how did that happen? But we're really doing a good job with that. And if we can continue not turning the basketball over, and our offensive rebounding was really good in the first half.
Oh my God.
Really good. A lot we're usually the other side of that, right?
Yes. Well, we used our size to our advantage, right? Like we've talked about, to where we have some guys that are either really good rebounders or just Joel Embiid's bigger than everybody, more talented than everybody. You should not struggle like we do at times. I'll obviously allude to what you brought up during Sunday, when the Celtics were doing their run and they, looked like we were going to lose in Game 4. You said, and this has gone to our teams in the past, this is one of the things that I mentioned, that why I thought we would lose in 7, right? Which is, series isn't over, obviously, right? But you talked about how the Sixers struggle to do the little things well in the biggest moments. And those biggest moments obviously come in playoff games. Well, just so far in this game, we've done the little things well, right? Like, I know Kenny Smith and the TNT guys did a little tape thing of a calamity of errors. Like, here's all of the mistakes the Sixers made, in this game. It's like, yeah, but we're still up 9 at the half, right? Like, I get it. We should be up probably 16. But that's not the point, right? It's like, when it matters, we have done the little things well. When it matters, when we're down 4 or down 5 or down 6, to the Celtics, in the closing moments of regulation in Game 4, we did the little things well, which made us respond and obviously force overtime and then win overtime. That's the difference. If it's any other team, if it's last year's team against Miami or the teams prior, especially like the Hawks series Sixers, we do not win that game. We saw it. We were sitting here on the air when we gave up that gigantic lead to the Hawks in Game 5, right? We had every opportunity to come back and win that game and win that series, but we were dead in the water. As soon as they sensed blood, we panicked.
And that's what I think this team is different. Now, they got to still prove that, right? You got to come close the game out. So
this could change in 5 minutes.
Nobody's crowning anything, but this team has felt different all year, and that's my point. Mm-hmm. Like, they felt different. They were the team coming back from big deficits, right? They were the team that wasn't blowing a lot of those types of games, right? Their turnovers and some of the things that were a major concern, seem to have been cleaned up a lot more this year. Their transition defense, like a lot of things were cleaned up this year that just sort of skate by, right? And our record showed it. The style of play we played showed it. Were we perfect all the time? No. I'm not sitting here saying that. But we're a tougher team. That's the difference. We're tougher. Tougher. Because everybody, PJ Tucker, I signed them. Because you're signing it for this. This is what you're signing it for. Playoff goddamn toughness with this James. With this basketball team has lacked because one guy didn't have a nutsack for the longest time. Still doesn't, but didn't have a nutsack. So, that's the difference. That's the difference. But you have to change that culture, right? That takes a minute to change. When a guy was on your roster at the beginning of last year and all the drama we went through last year, right? You need that dust to settle. And here it's settled. So go win the biggest game of the process is history right now. Because this is what this game is right here. And then the next game will be even bigger. So, you know how it goes. James hits 2 or 3. We'll take it. Sixers up 18. 18.
Well, and it's not only obviously the situation, Tom, and you guys talked about it on Sunday, where it's like this possession is the most important defensive possession in process history and all those things. But it's like if you
don't give those guys credit for that. You know what I mean? That's trademarked. Don't give those guys credit.
I didn't know who said it first. So I just
right here,
Okay.
too many times.
Okay.
I mean, I said it about 10,000 times because we went no take, so everything became a bigger possession.
Yeah, and I agree. Listen, there was zero false nature to that. Can somebody help him? By the way, there you go. Little things.
You gotta get a shot off, bro.
Yeah, that's a little thing. That's not doing the little things well. Right. I just said you're doing little things well.
It's all right. We're good. Let's go get a stop. Let's go get a stop down the other end now.
If you win this game, Tom, it's like a series of firsts, right? Because it's like, okay, we haven't been here before, right? Like we put out the post earlier. It's like, okay, we struggle in game 5s. It's like, oh my God, we have an opportunity to actually win. Oh, there you go. Good day. Finish it. Thank you.
Attaboy.
He did.
Sixers back up 18. D'Anthony Melton
finishes
out on the break. That's not a foul. That's such a bad call. He's not allowed to go back into the body like that. He gets every call for a guy who's not a great player. For a guy who's a very good player, but he gets every single call. It's amazing.
Is that on Tyrese? Joshua, that was on Tyrese?
Yeah, it was. Can't even blame him on that one.
No.
All right, Sixers up 18. Boston with the ball. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third. So can you keep your foot on the gas to finish this quarter?
Another one? And an N1?
They just want it to be close. Like they try to allow it to be close. It's a joke. That's not even a foul.
What is he doing? He didn't move.
It's not even close to being a foul. It's not an N1. If that's an N1, then the NBA should fold itself. That's a joke of a call. It's a joke of a call. Guy made a bucket. Move on. Yeah, Tobias yourself. Not a foul.
Nope.
Because it's not. But this is what they've been doing all series. This is what they've been doing. I'm tired of it. Now you got to beat the officials again tonight. Got to go beat them again. Beat them again, boys. But I said, if they want to trade buckets, let's trade them. So got to go get one here on this end.
Reese.
I don't love that shot.
No, too quick.
Sixers up 15.
There you go.
Get out.
Daniel.
It's Daniel for me. Not calling him Daniel. So everybody knows out there. Not doing it. Might just call him Mr. House. Mr. House?
Is that not his name, Tom? Did I screw it up?
No, it is. I'm just never calling him that.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Danielle. Or Daniel. I can't do it.
Maybe can we just call him Danny, like a 2-part?
Danny, yeah, can we Danny? Does he like
it?
He's like, oh, we don't want to do that. It tears ACL.
Fair.
Sixers up 17 with the ball. 40 seconds to go here in the third. Another bucket's like a dagger.
Yes.
Another big bucket. Hold on to it.
Okay.
Okay,
finish that.
Tyrese. Sixers up 19, baby. Let's go.
That's patience right there.
Let's go here. Oh, Joel Embiid is a completely different passer. He's a completely different passer. Nothing worries him. He doesn't get like worked up like he did when he was younger, too quick with it, like hot potato. He's calm and confident with the basketball in his hands, and we've seen it. It's truly amazing.
Oh my God.
Tatum for 3. Sixers up 16. 5, 4. Maxey bringing it up, and that's from real deep, and that's a miss. So, all right, up 16 going in the fourth. I mean, you tell me that before the game starts, I'm gooch. You know what I mean? I'm over here delicious. I feel great. So, I mean, listen, anything's possible. They cannot blow this lead. You cannot blow this lead. That's simple as that.
Not allowed.
Not allowed. It's hard to blow that kind of lead. It's hard. It really is.
Well, it's like we have so many different guys scoring for us, right? Like it'd be one thing if Embiid had 52 right now, right, through 3 quarters. And our second leading scorer was, let's say, Harden with 13, right? Where it's just like a one-trick pony. Then it's like, okay, there's a recipe for Boston to come back, right? Because it's like, okay, we only have really one guy going for us. They stop him. It's like, okay, who's scoring? But we've got Embiid one shy of 30. You've got Harden with 17. Max with 18, Tobias, who hasn't played in feels like an hour, 16, right? So it's like 4 of your 5 scores, and PJ doesn't really like. I don't want to say PJ Tucker doesn't count but PJ Tucker doesn't count with the scoring, count. Right? Like he hasn't scored. He's taken 2 shots, but he's a +10. So like that for all of like the stat people, like that should tell us all we need to know. On Boston's side of things, like Tatum, who's gone to the foul line 12 times. Has 31 points. Their next leading scorer is Jaylen Brown with 15, who only has put up 9 shots. Then the only other guy in double figures is Marcus Smart at 10. Derek White, 7. Brogdon has 5. Williams has 4. Robert Williams had it. Like, it's just Horford is 0 for 7. So it's like, okay, if like somebody went to the future and like teleported an hour from now and they're like, hey guys, the Celtics came back. I'm honestly saying how. I'm saying how just because like how, but like how, right? Like who went off?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about. I don't think the people out there understand what kind of run that is. I mean, you almost have to have like a 12-0 run, right? Yeah. You still don't have the lead, so I mean, you have to give the game away. It's as simple as that. You have to give the game away, and Luke's right. You know, I don't even say the first 2 to 3 minutes of this quarter is sort of going to have to tell you where it is. You know, if you get under 10 and you're still up 15, 16, I don't know how they lose it. And D3 Slayer, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know if game 6 is a must win, right? Like, first of all, let's get through this one. But I had us winning this one, losing game 6, and going back there again and beating them again. Which, if we lose game, because if we lost game 6 at home, everybody's like, it's over. It's right. Like, nobody's going to remember that we won 2 there this series. They're just going to say, oh, it's a wrap. No, sometimes it's not, because you're looser. You're looser on the road, right? There's less stress on the road. And that's some of the things that is the advantage if you go into it as the aggressor, right? The road can be your best friend sometimes. Chiquita, I think so too. This team is different. But they got to close this out, and they got to win this series to really feel different. But right now, different. So up 16, start of the 4th. Paul Reed's in. So if you can keep this with this, I assume another unit's in right now. But if you can keep it here, we're in great shape. Well, Don, I got to go in 7. I said it on Sunday. I said on Sunday that we're going to win this game there. That we're going to win this game there, and we'll probably lose game 6 at home, and we'll come back, and then we'll come back and win in game 7. I had game 7 to start, so I had us winning a game 7 there to begin with. I would prefer them in 6. I don't need the 7 stress, so I'm perfectly fine with being wrong on that one.
Something really small on the surface, which I like out of Doc. So obviously Doc, he shortened the rotation last game, and he just completely eliminated Jalen McDaniels, which I think you and I would both agree, Tom, was a smart move. Like, I get it, we traded for him, but the guy's just not in this series. He's not reliable, right? Like, he's not good enough defensively. He's not good enough offensively, and he's going to get 2 quick fouls, right? So they shortened the bench last game, and in this game they go Daniel House. Like, is Daniel House like a good basketball player? I don't know. Right, but at least he's going to give you energy. Right,
he's a veteran. He's a vet. Yeah. Right. I mean, whatever that means, but he's a vet. That's not a foul.
That's not. I mean, that's Marcus Smart.
I mean, this is unbelievable, dude. Like, this is unbelievable. Guy just throws his hands up there and gets that call. Like, I'm not telling you there was no contact. I got to see it again. But first look at that. It's not a foul. All right, Smart to the line for 2. You stop me if you heard me say that before. All right, up 15.
And Marcus Smart literally initiates the contact. Daniel House doesn't even put his hands up. And that's a foul. But again, they got to keep it close, right? We got to keep it close.
So you got Melton, House, Reed, Harden, Niang.
It's a weird five. Niang drive.
But you need that. Like, you need these guys to give you some minutes here because your starters played a ton of minutes. So you're trying to like alleviate that a little bit. Like, they played a ton of basketball in game 4. So with a lead, it's like you can pull it off for a few.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
There you go. Good defense.
Makes sense, right? Like,
yes,
because you have such a big lead, you can play this little.
Atta
boy, Danny House.
Danny, I'm sorry.
I think he's got 6, right? He got 4, or he's got 4. That might have been his 4th. I feel like he's got 4 or 6.
He's got 6.
He's got 6, right? Yeah.
He's 3 for 4 from the field, and the only one he missed was that 360.
What's that call? That's
shot.
no call?
That should absolutely be offensive foul, but
Us. It's not even a question.
Absolutely off Robert Williams.
Why?
No.
He's the tallest guy in the room. How's that not off of him?
Toby, where you go? Where you go? You were just here.
Marcus Smart checks out. Oh, listen, Vitali, it probably isn't. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you it's over. Like,
nope.
You know, it should be. It should be, but we'll see. I mean, right now we're trading baskets. So, I mean, right now we're talking about that 10-minute mark.
Oh,
wow, really good.
Oh my God!
Wow, good take. But this is a little adjustment too. That a wrinkle that they have not seen. They have not game planned for. But nobody gives Doc credit ever, right? But this is what they've not game planned for that, for him. You know what I mean? Not that it matters fully, but they haven't. And again, we'll trade baskets with a 14-point lead. Now we're coming up under 10, up 14, chance to go back, chance to go up 16. And what did this quarter start at? Up 16, right?
16, I believe.
Yeah. So can you Harden for 3? Nope. Brown with the rebound. Sixers up 14. 9:45, 44 to go.
This guy, anytime he touches the basket, he's going to get a foul call for him.
Here we go now.
I mean, what do we? If I'm the Celtics, I'm just giving it to Tatum. You're going to get 2 points some way.
That's not a foul.
I mean, come on.
It's not a foul. I just don't think that's a foul. No. But all right, guys, well, everybody good. Everybody calm down. Like, you think everybody thinks they're not gonna make some shots. They're not gonna like put a fight up. They're just gonna let you beat their ass by 20. Like, come on.
Tom, some people in the chat reminded me of Chuck's from the first round of the Eagles Giants playoff game where we're up 30. It's like, I need a first down here. It's like, well,
I do need a basket here. I do need a basket.
I'll take some baskets.
I do need a basket to go to put it to 13 again.
Sure. Boston's on their feet. Oh my God, pick and roll action. Max.
Need it.
Max.
Need it. Not a baby.
Yes.
Sixers back up 14. Tyrese Maxey for 3. What a dish by Danielle House. Get that shit out.
That's probably a foul.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Wasn't ejected for, looking at Jaylen Brown the wrong way. As far as that wasn't an ejection.
Every time those guys drive, they get the call. It's amazing. Everybody, sit back down. Sit back down, Boston. Sit back down. All right, we're good. We're good. Coming up on 9 minutes here. Maxey with 21, 5 for 9 from 3. That's the big one. Hey, Bo don't lie. Jaylen Brown misses the first.
All right,
Joel Embiid back in. 9 minutes to go here. So, they get a good 3 minutes run from them there. So now can you keep it here? Brown taking his second one.
Ew.
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 Sixers up 14 with the basketball. And a bucket here is a big dagger. House, Maxey, pick and roll. Get it to him. Good luck.
Daniel.
Oh, Danny, catch the ball. Catch the ball, Daniel.
All right. Okay.
Brogdon misses the runner. Tucker with the board.
Come on, Joe.
Harden, a little ISO on
I
Brogdon.
need Joe here. Kick it out.
Oh, if he hits that,
Come on. Big.
Out of baby! Sixers up 17. Joel Embiid for 3. Timeout, Boston. Let's go. Let's go here. You losers. Freaking hate this team. That's monstrous.
Is this what dreams are made of, Tom?
It is what they are. It is what they are. Joel with 32. And, a lot of criticism coming in before this one, too, by a lot of losers. Okay? A lot of guys that don't have a feel. Like, imagine saying a guy who dropped 32 or 34.
34 and 13.
Yeah, he had a bad game. What?
Oh, I need him to show up in this series. Just watch. But again, I would say watch basketball to that former Sixer. But they've said, along with the guy who said, Jokic is the best big man in the NBA, which is fine. If you want to believe that, that's cool. But you said like a week ago that it's undoubtedly Embiid. I would say watch basketball, but they don't watch the games. Like they've said it. Like, hey, in between our little pregame and postgame, we don't watch the games. I watch hockey. Shaq falls asleep. Okay. All right. So that's makes sense.
Yeah, you guys don't watch it.
Yeah.
And they'll give, they'll say, Boston didn't shoot well tonight. Well, why do you think they didn't shoot well? Contested shots, great defense. You know it's going to come. Like, Boston gave this one away. They look how bad they shot. That's what you're going to hear. You're not going to hear how good the Sixers shoot, right? I mean, the Sixers are shooting 50% from the field. Think about that. They're shooting 50% from the field. That's how good the Sixers are shooting, okay? And they're shooting 30 and a half from 3 compared to Boston, who is shooting 38% from the field, 27% from 3. So how about a little respect to a team that's being real palmsy and real physical and, guys are in foul trouble because of it. And the only reason Boston's isn't a 40-point game is the amount of times they've gone to the line over BS stuff. And they're in the penalty in the second quarter, like 2 minutes in. Like 2 minutes in, they're in the penalty. They're shooting free throws. What are we doing?
We heard from a lot of people, Tom, after game 3. From a lot of people. Oh, if you somehow win game 4, there's 0 chance you win game 5 in Boston. By the way, I don't see that person in the chat right now, which is curious.
Yeah, of course not.
0 chance they win game 5 if they possibly win game 4. Okay.
Boston has only attempted 29 3-point shots, and averaging like 42. Well, that's good closeouts, Everybody's going to ask, where's Bill? Well, I don't care if he doesn't show up. You know what I mean? I know people's truths. Not
Not our first rodeo. Love them, but not our first rodeo. Becoming predictable. Luke, 76ers, 21 fouls, Celtics, 13 fouls, and still up 17. I thought we were foul merchants, Luke. I know you didn't say that, but the people, right? The people. Oh, you guys are foul merchants. Oh. Still got to finish the game, though. Quick 2 by Brown. Hey, Vitaly, we got to win. If we got to finish this game, right? And we got to win one more after that, all right? Baby steps. Go on, Max. Ooh, yes.
Attaboy.
A little bounce in. Oh, my God. Oh, okay. Thanks, Tatum. Just going to hand it to James for us. Oh, he didn't just do that.
House again.
He didn't just do that. That was a 480 rim.
That's a push off.
That's clear.
Of course, it's on the floor. Of course, it's on the Sixers. Sixers up 102-83. 7 minutes to go here in the fourth. Game looks ought to be over. You never know. You never know. Like I said, you can't, they trade buckets. They have no shot. I mean, they got to go on like a 15-0 run, and they're still losing. Smart makes the first of two. 102-84. Tobias checks back in for House. Yeah, tons of push-offs. So him. I mean, it's truly amazing. I've never seen so many push-offs. It's one thing if you think a guy like crosses you up and you fall backwards, but it's not that.
It's like their third option, Tom. It's either shoot, pass, or push off.
Hey, seriously.
Going through their freaking progressions. I don't need you, Joe. I don't need you to play point guard, all right?
Not with Smart on you. Brown for three, and that's good. Doc timeout.
Yep. Good timeout.
Sixers up 14. Two big buckets. No, Joshua, we can't turn the ball over, right? This is where you got to clean your act up. All right, definitely got to clean their act up.
The little things.
But they're all right. I mean, there ain't even nothing to panic about yet.
Nope.
We start panicking when we get down. If we get it under 10, you know what I mean? And then you can start being like, uh-oh. But we're going to take a quick 30-second commercial break brought to you by Philly Sports Trips.
Hey, Birds fans. Breaking news. The NFL schedule is being released on May 11th, and Philly Sports Trips is already taking deposits for what is sure to be an epic season ahead. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Not ready to fly? Then join us on a bus trip to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trips customers stay at the best hotels and meet NFL and MLB legends, so book today to ensure that you do not get shut out.
Go check out our great friends over at Philly Sports Trips. Book your next trip today. It's not Ralph's voice, Don. Close, though. Daryl says Philly got to get a few more shots. Boston had another run in them. Of course they do. You know what I mean? Here we go. Hey, Bill. They can't buy a bucket tonight. This team has no voice or leadership. Good game, guys. It wouldn't even be this close if it wasn't for the foul. See, Bill's a realist. At times, the Sixers should be in the finals this year.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
A lot of basketball still left, Bill, right? Not only in this game, but in this series, right? Far from over. Far from over on all fronts. On all fronts. Sixers got to go take care of a game right now that's still in front of them. Of course, Jonas. Appreciate you tuning in, brother.
Thank you all.
Yeah. Mr. Thomas, we're okay. We're okay.
Little USA. Everything's fine. Everything will be fine.
I'd much rather be up 14 than this be like a 2-point game right now.
You and me both. Oh, my God. Phils are up, too. What's going on today, Tom?
Well, Philly's got to start playing some good baseball, right? They were for a stretch, and then they were terrible. Losing 6 in a row is never a good time, especially when the Braves are hot as a pistol. Mm-hmm. But winning Sunday, and let's put together something here, right? It's time for them to put something together. So, big one tonight, big one tomorrow night. down at Citizens Bank, and then they go out to Denver for 3. So really nice to finish up this little quick homestand with 3 in a row. And then you go 3-2 on your homestand, right? I mean, that's important when you start out losing, the first 2 against Boston.
Just in time to go out to the House of Pain, which is Coors Field, Tom.
Yeah, and then
Feels
they go.
like we haven't won there since the 90s.
No matter how good or bad or indifferent they are either.
Mm-hmm.
Not a place you want to go when your pitching staff has been struggling.
No, Charlie Blackmon was my homer in every game again.
And then they go out to San Fran after that. So Sixers up 14 with the basketball coming up on 6:40 to go here in the 4th.
I don't need a bucket here, but I need a bucket here, if that makes sense.
Oh, bucket would feel great here.
Thank you.
And we got one. Maxey for 2. Sixers back up 16. Brown coming down for 3. Oh, he didn't take it.
Shoot that out. Go ahead.
White on Joel.
Nice.
Not
Get
tonight.
that out.
Sixers up 16. Harden running.
Shoot that.
Fast
Shoot
break.
that.
Maxey for 3. No.
And we're walking. Ooh.
That's the same contact. That's a foul too.
Yeah, it should have been. If it was Trae Young, it would have been. If it's Marcus Smart, it would have been.
That's all right now. I mean, I think they probably should have slowed that down. They could have got a better shot, but
Little heat check.
Sixers up 15. Brown going to the line for a second. Yeah, you don't want to dribble it too much either, Dow, right? You're in like a fine line right now where you don't want to get too stagnant. Brown misses another. Sixers still up 15. Under 6 minutes to go officially now. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You don't want to get too stagnant, right? Because there's still time. Like if you get 24-second shot clock violations every time and they get a bucket, there's still time for that per se.
Celtics have missed 8 foul shots tonight, 24 of 32.
Yeah, that's no good. That's not good. Not good at all. So 6 left on the clock. Harden is inbounding. See if the Sixers can't get another one. Embiid with 5, 4 against Horford. Yeah, turnover coming.
Turnover. Get that out.
You make up for your turnovers.
We friggin' saved that?
You make up for your turnovers with that effort play. It's another great effort play by Joel Embiid.
Now, where is he? There he is. Okay. I get nervous when he doesn't pop into the screen.
Yeah, right.
I don't want him just laying somewhere, right? Speaking of.
And Joel Embiid goes to the line. And under 5 minutes, if we have this lead, I get him the hell out of the game.
Yes.
What a block. What a block by Joel Embiid. After a bad turnover, right? But that's the hustle shit. That's what's different. There ain't no moping. Get back down the court and go make a play.
Moping friggin' February against Charlotte on a Tuesday. Do that then. Not now.
Joel Embiid is 32 currently. Make it 33.
Oh!
This is the first. Oh, he's definitely going to make the second.
Yep. No, you're right, though, Tom. If they, go on like a few more baskets here, kill some more clock, get him out of the building, get him on the plane, right? Get him out.
And he makes the second. Sixers up 16, 105-89. Coming up, 5:20, 19-18 to go here in the 4th. Brown for 3. Off.
That's a desperation shot.
Tobias with a rebound. And, I mean, listen, this is over.
Yep.
This is over.
That's
now.
probably the
Yep,
timeout to get Joe out.
Yep. You can keep the other guys on, but just get him out. Get him out.
Put him on the plane.
Got a big one. Got a big one coming up Thursday night. So, you got to get him out. Get him out every minute extra he gets. He plays. He's played 36 tonight. So, get him the hell out.
Yep.
I would even consider getting Harden out. Let the legs breathe. Let the legs breathe.
Yeah, do a Danny House, Tyrese Maxey 2-man game, Tom. 5 minutes left. Finish it up.
Yeah,
Tuesday night
we were saying that. Who would have thought we were saying that? And we'll talk about Joshua, when this game is officially over and we have a 3-2 lead, sort of how the rest of this series shakes out. It's going to be interesting because Boston loses this game. Game 6, they're going to give you everything they got.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I wonder if they give you everything they have and find a way that they sort of leave it all out there in game 6 and they don't have anything left in game 7.
Well, not to lean too much into the storylines either, but I'm sure they will try and do a little instigation, right? Because that's what teams do, right? It's kind of like, okay, let's try and get Marcus Smart, a little instigation of everybody, just to try and get anything out of us, right? Any little advantage they can, especially them being, they're not in the TD Garden. That was tonight.
We don't need Springer, Don. We can do without that. Let's go, Kane. Largest playoff win at Boston is 1955. And they won by 16. Wow. A long time ago. Maxey turns the corner. Of course, no call there. And now gets it. And now gets it. Got his own rebound. And it was over the back, it looks like, on Williams. So Maxey should be going on the line for 2. Trying to put the Sixers up 18. It's crazy to say that. 18. Definitely thought we were going to win this. I just didn't think we were going to win it by 18. And Vegas sure as hell didn't think so either.
Yeah, Boston's they look like us at times where they're just lifeless, right? What was that game? I mean, definitely game 2, we were lifeless. But even portions of game 3, we were lifeless when we were doing our reaction, right? It's just.
Yep. We've had it. But guess what? I mean, sometimes you can take a team a little bit for granted too when you've owned somebody. When you've owned somebody, you can sort of just, I don't know, it's human nature. I mean, everybody out there should know what I'm saying. Like, you're just a little, just not yourself. And they haven't been as good this year as they were last year either. I mean, I don't think a lot of people realize that either. They're still very good, but they're not as good.
No, last year's team was better, 100%.
PJ for 3.
Oh, wow.
And that's a wrap. 110-91 Sixers.
Damn.
What an effort.
Sean, can we finish the series, please? Like, I love the excitement.
The Lakers need to finish their own series too.
And we got to win the next one too.
I don't think that series is over.
No.
I don't think it's over. I do not think it's over. You heard his hand on this?
Who?
Joe. I wasn't sure. Brown,
Jesus.
another miss.
Is that Ben?
I'm surprised he still even has him in.
Very surprised.
I guess in reality, like, you're a couple, they're like 3 threes away from being like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Right? Uh-oh.
The math makes it possible, but still.
It's still hard. No, but I get it for another minute. Like, under 3, see where you're at. Maybe even this possession, if Maxey buries that. Bang!
Yep.
Bang!
Can we
Sixers are up 21. It's amazing. That's amazing. What an effort. What an effort. And we were waiting for one of these games from him. Knew he was due for it. Wow.
That's the difference, Tom, right? That's how much different. Forget this series. This team is when Maxey's going off, right? Because what you're going to get from Joel, unless it's one of those disastrous Harden games. At the minimum he's going to be a floor general, right? And he's going to do the little things. right? Tobias, in the moments where he's not in foul trouble and he's allowed to play, he was tremendous. At portions of the second quarter, they had the ball running through him. He was like running like almost like point forward at times, which I thought was like, oh, this is different. Riding with the hot hand, I like it. But when Maxey is playing confident, again, like this, when we've been like critical of him in this series, like I saw people in our comment section be like, oh, you guys hate Maxey? No, it's not that at all. It's that we want him to play exactly how he plays against every other team. It's a Boston thing, right? He's just struggled historically against Boston. Games like tonight are ways to be like, hey, this is possible, right? This isn't the big bad wolf, right? And like, I understand it might be a slightly more difficult matchup because their guards are a little bit better than, the average NBA team, but still, if you play aggressive and you play your game, that's the Tyrese Maxey you can be. So it's that simple, right? Like we talk about it, we joke about it with the people in the comments. Like basketball is a very simple game, right? It's a very, very simple game. What was that? Peyton Pritchard? Who was that? Oh, Sam Hauser. Jesus.
Get it across. And they just do a little keep away here. Another three. Wow, that would have been that's a heat check.
Save him for 6, Max. Save him for 6.
He's all white lineup. Really trying to space it.
Oh wow, Pritchard might be in the starting rotation now.
Nice.
Damian Lillard threes. Yeah.
Sixers up 113-98. Good job getting it across. No, it's just now you're just in tick down mode of 15. 2 minutes to go. Here comes a double. Get rid of it. Good look. PJ. Short. Rebound Boston. Down 15.
Jesse says it's the retro Boston lineup.
Yeah, it is. The only thing they're missing is Bird.
Yep.
Good board. Ball game. That was it. That was it, unless something the craziest comeback in the history of basketball happens.
Get it across.
In 10 seconds. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. No, I just speak the truth. I mean, that's what it is. And Grant Williams.
We're here to illustrate the game, right, Tom?
So, yeah.
Just say what we see.
I'm not going to name all the bench guys that subbed in. It's gonna. Oh, Shake! I got another guy coming in. Got another white guy. There's all 5. All 5. I mean, who has this many token white guys on their bench? Goodness gracious. There's no right win in this series.
Might as well put Blake Griffin in.
No right win in this series. No right. You got 5 guys on your bench that are white? I don't think there's 5 guys. No, there's 5 guys in the league.
Can we get an investigation?
Is Pritchard another 3? Can you stop? Are we really? Is this really a 12-point game right now? Oh, God.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Get it across. Oh, my God.
I'm putting the phone down. All right. Is Joel on the plane yet?
If Pritchard makes another 3, I'm leaving. Stop.
Oh.
He checked. Our ball.
Thank you, ref. Great call. You're a great ref. Oh, they always got to do something to us, though.
Oh, it's the NBA. We got nobody really in.
What was the line? 7, 7.5?
No, they're getting 7.5.
Oh.
Sixers are getting 7.5.
Oh, so this line's good.
Oh, yeah.
We're okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was literally people that were picking Boston at 5. I think those people aren't the smartest.
Tom, at least I didn't do that.
Yeah, this was never going 5 either way.
That's disrespectful.
No, it's pretty over now.
Yeah,
you need like a Reggie Miller in the Garden for it not to be over. Like a steal, a 3, a steal, a 3, a steal, a 3, and they're still down 3. Like it's a lot. I don't think people realize it's a lot. No, I mean, listen, we're gonna see what happens, but there's receipts everywhere over the last year and change.
Oh my God.
Slim Reaper, from a lot of content people who do it on down. There's a lot of people who said some things, right?
Said some things after big wins. Said some things. Said some things after you clinch a sweep in the first round. Said some things.
Yeah, nobody believed. Like, a lot of people did not believe. And rightfully so to a point, right? But this team was always better than before. Like, better than what we were dealing with before. Like, it's not even close, right? It's just, okay, can they play well together, right?
Well, we talked about it too, Tom, and we said it when we gave our predictions, right? Like, I know myself and I know Greg, right? Like, we flipped from Sixers in 7 to Celtics in 7 because of the Joe injury, because we didn't know when we did that show, we didn't know if Joe was going to miss. Like, I said that night, I thought Joe was missing 2-3 games, right? Like, the fact that he came back in game 2 and now he's already off the knee brace and you get 2 Harden games, like, that's what decides things, right? That's why it's like, yeah, man, it's like the Celtics in 4, Celtics in 5. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you guys can feel how you feel, but it's tough.
Yeah, I just didn't think there was any way he was missing a bunch of games in this series. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he missed a game, sure, I get it. But with such the layoff in the sweep, and his time off, he wasn't going to let that happen. He just was not going to. And players decide if they're going to play, right? You know what I mean? Owners, etc. They're not deciding if they're playing. He's deciding if he wants to play, and that's what he said after he won the MVP. And I'm back, and here we are. Just shoot it. Who cares? Sometimes you want to take that freebie if they give it to you. Go ahead, guy. I mean, you don't got to take it all the way to 0. You had to shoot it. Come on, dude. Take him,
Anthony?
please. Take him. Thank you. Thank you. Get in. Get in. And a poke in the eye. Sixers up 14. Pritchett from Rhode Island. Grant Williams, only guy left in. He misses. Under a minute. Sixers up 14. Wow. Give me Tower real quick. Give me the Suns tonight. Well, plus the points. I'm not even knowing who's going to win it, but give me Suns plus 6.5. It's another big line.
Oh, wow, 6.5.
Big line.
It's back in Denver, right?
Yes.
Give me Denver. Give me Denver because their bench. Because Paul's still not playing, right? Paul.
Who?
Chris Paul.
No, he's not playing. No, I don't think so. They're actually probably better without him.
Fair. I'm just worried about their benches only work so much factors in the playoffs, but I'll be different. I'll go Nuggets. Also, I gotta be thinking ahead, right? If people want to talk about who are the Sixers facing in the finals, I'd rather face Denver than Phoenix, right? Like if we want to.
Yeah, I'll stay away from that. Right. I don't want to be doing that. So the white guy lineup makes it interesting for Boston, if you want to call it interesting. Sixers win 115-103, take a 3-2 series lead against the Boston Celtics, and we're on our way, and we're one step closer to exercising the demons, the second-round demons. For years, the Game 5 demons have been exercised. They're over. It's gone. There's no more talk about it, all right? And not only put it in the past, all right, with a big statement win, too. Not just a win. Like, wins are good. Wins are great any way you want to get them. This was a statement win for the Philadelphia 76ers. What a win. What an effort. And if you don't believe now, like as a team, forget the media and the fans. If you don't believe now as a team, you never will. What you've done in this series makes you believe. You went there in game 1 without the MVP of the league, not just missing one of your better players, with the MVP in basketball, and you beat him. You beat him, and you steal game 1 which was the game I said, if they're going to steal one in Boston, it's probably going to be one because as the series goes on, you get more of a feel of each other, right? As the series goes on, even though these teams know each other, you get even a better feel, all right? Game 1, they steal, right? Then they're down 2-1. They lose that game 3 at home, right? And the way they lost it, Harden inept in that game, okay? Maxey inept, right? Sat here and said, they're winning game 4. If they're the basketball team we think they are, that's a guaranteed win. What do? They come out and win it. James Harden, sensational again in game 4. Right? Now you go to game 5s, which are so important to a series. We all know the numbers, 82% of the time, that team's going to end up winning the series, right? And here we are in Boston again, where like they're going to go win there again. People are like, they're going to go win there again. Yeah, they're going to go win there again because they're on a mission right now. They're on a mission. The MVP of the league's on a mission. James Harden's on a mission. Tyrese Maxey, this is so important for him in the rest of this series to get hot like this. And Tobias Harris has just been the definition of consistency since he's gotten here. He's gotten bad rap after bad rap, and the guy plays great defense. All right, if his name was Marcus Smart, he wouldn't have been in foul trouble tonight, okay? If his name was Marcus Smart. But came out aggressive tonight. The statement this basketball team made right away, in not only game 4, but in game 5, is why they're so much different, right? There was no, like, lackluster stuff early on. They came out with energy and effort. How many offensive rebounds did this basketball team, which has always been our Achilles heel, right? How many did they get early on? You know why? Because we always talk about it. That's effort plays. That's effort stuff. Because when you add a guy like P.J. Tucker into this locker room, a guy that's willing to go up to our leader and say, nobody can stop you. Nobody during a game, nobody can stop you. All right? He's been the vocal leader of this basketball team since the second he walked in here. And everybody's worried about in the regular season, like, oh, P.J. Tucker, yeah, he's just there. He ain't just there. He ain't just there. Defense wins championships, and we held the Boston Celtics in handcuffs tonight. And if you don't think that's the big part of P.J. Tucker, right, because who else was playing the 4? Who else was playing the 4 in years past? Right? Don't tell me Tobias was, because he's still on the court right now playing the 3, right? And he's playing the 3 remarkably.
Yep.
Okay? And those 2 guys and this whole team can essentially switch on to anybody. I'm just so proud of the effort. I know this basketball team's good. All right? I've been on it, and they're good. But the effort that they brought in the last 2 games, if they bring that in game 6, Boston can't match it at this point because they're just showing how much more dominant we are than them. When you have a big man that can't be stopped, it changes everything they want to do. Because now they can't run the double team because Harden killed them, right? So as soon as Harden kills you, like he did in game 4, now you can't run doubles anymore. Mm-hmm. The second Maxey takes you out, you go, I don't know what to do now. Like we can't double him. And if you don't double him, he will eat you alive again like he did tonight. And don't tell me about game 4 in the 4th and in overtime when the dude's exhausted at that point. Exhausted. Al Horford held him in check. Knock it off, dude. Al Horford can't stop him. At any point when the guy is 75%, he can't stop him. So, Anna, go hold that big L too. I'm so excited. I'm so proud. And I'm proud of the resiliency up until here because you're down 2-1 in this series and you can quit. You can quit. It's easy to quit. It's hard to fight. It's hard to scratch a goddamn call. That's what's different. And I can't wait to go close this series out in 6 or 7, wherever it's going to go. It don't matter because the Sixers are winning this damn series. Fuck yes.
Tom, it's like they played tonight like they learned something about themselves in the final moments of game 4. It's like if we can survive this, if we can go up on this big lead and watch it all crumble down like we've seen against the Heat, against the Celtics in the past, against the Hawks, against who name it, anybody, Toronto, right? If we can somehow respond and come out with a victory when not only it seemed like we were dead to the water, but all the fan base, we were saying it was done, justifiably so. If we could come out and we could steal a game, we learned something about ourselves, and ourselves is it's a different team this year. This isn't the Simmons team This isn't the team with, Joel having the broken face, part 1 or part 2. This is different for any of the reasons we state. And we talk about it. Different ways to win. Certain games, Harden wants to become like Houston Harden. Be my guest. Go for it. You want to have Joel Embiid just be an absolute domination of a basketball player tonight, which I even think he could have had more, right? If it feels like he left something out there, which is a great thought to have because he can obviously continue that in Game 6.
He didn't have to. Right? He didn't have to when other guys are going.
No, and that's the thing. It's that you don't need your top 2 stars to go for 40.
I think I just lost you. Yeah, I can't hear you. But KZ, you're right. Sixers came out with some fire tonight. Embiid had that killer instinct early, and that energy went through everybody. Right, the energy went through this entire basketball team, and that's the importance of a leader like that. Ted, I appreciate the super chat. He said, "With my dudes, how you like us now, Boston? 1, 2, 3, 76ers. Adding House to the rotation was so smart. We're destroying our demons. Let's go, boys. Let's go's right. Let's go's right." And Doc doesn't get any credit because why would people give the coach credit ever? But that's a little, a little mix up, something a little different, right? A little different aspect that maybe they weren't ready for, and it helped tonight. It brought some energy tonight. It brought some fresh legs tonight, right? I think you saw some fresh legs out of them. So, I mean, unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't say enough good things.
Am I back, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. Even when we win, I lose. I don't even know what I was saying. But it was just like, okay, when you have guys step up for you, Tobias was amazing in the first half of the season. Or, I'm sorry, of the game and obviously the playoffs. If we get another Maxey game like that, and again, they're going to shoot better, right? Like, there's a lot of things that didn't go well for Boston, right? But, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know. We haven't been here before, right? Any of these series where we've gotten this far, we've been fighting back. It's okay, we got to find a way to win Game 6 and Game 7, right? We got to go and we got to find a way to win. It's no, I don't feel like we've ever had the opportunity to be one win away from an Eastern Conference Finals unless it was going into a Game 7 against Toronto or the Hawks, right? We are one win away with 2 remaining. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know how to operate. It's foreign territory, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that I do think Game 4, the way they were able to, they coughed up a lead, then were able to take it back under 2 minutes. Boston's up 5. That feels like it's over. They're able to tie it. They're able to get to OT, and they're able to win that game and make this series 2-2. That's where Boston lost this series, in my opinion. If the Sixers end up holding on and winning this series, okay, that's where the Celtics lost this series. Because once they took the lead, the air was ripped from the arena and from this basketball team, right? And they made some big plays to tie that up and get themselves into OT and come back and actually steal that game back, right? Is where Boston's uh-oh. We're not used to being tied with them. They're not used to 2-2. That's what I said. Regular season doesn't matter. Boston can own you all they want in the regular season. This is always a different animal. It always is. And when I fucking have said it now for a while. And coming how this season has progressed, right? When you have the best player in the world, it's hard to lose. It's just other guys give you a pulse, right? And other guys come to play around him. When you have the best player in basketball, man, it's hard to lose in the postseason. It's hard.
Can I add a wrinkle to that, Tom? Because you're right. Best player in the world while being reasonably healthy.
Yeah, 80%.
Right? Yeah.
80%. And how many blocks do you have tonight? 4? 5? How many blocks do you have again tonight?
Let's see, blocks. 4.
4. So, I mean, did he have an MVP type game tonight? What does he need to go for 40? That's a statement game for him. That's a statement game again for Joel Embiid. Statement game. Because he could have had more, but we didn't need him to have more. That's the point. That's the point because it's a more balanced offense like this. All right. He had 33. I mean, he was 10 for 23. 7 boards, 4 blocks. right? Tobias was great on the glass tonight with 11 and in foul trouble. Harden was great on the glass again tonight. All right, just like he was in game 4. He had 8. Maxey, you've seen it a bunch going up into the weeds and coming down with 1. He had 7. And then PJ, and then playoff P. A 3, right? 1, 3 and 7 boards, right? So, I mean, they brought it. And then House gives you the double digits off the bench, and you have 5 guys in double figures. You didn't even need Melton to do anything special tonight. He was 2 for 4 with 4, right? But he had 4 boards, right? It's just, what an effort. What an effort. And James Harden, 4 for 8, right? I mean, Harden was 4 for 8. He was good in the first half. He didn't have to do anything in the second half.
He can coast. He had a game, right?
He coasted and officially coasted. He was 2 boards away from a triple-double.
Yes.
So, I mean, and the biggest part of it is everyone saying, oh, well, Boston didn't shoot well tonight. We know they didn't shoot well, but they haven't shot well in the last 2 games. Why? Because our energy and our effort has put them in some handcuffs. It has. Like, there's no good matchup for them. Who's a good matchup? They got to get switches and hope they get Maxey on one of their guys, and that's their best matchup. That's the best matchup they can hope for. Who else do they want switching? PJ can cover everybody. Joel can cover anybody. Tobias can cover anybody. All right? And James has been awesome defensively. In the last 2 games, this is a different James Harden in the last 2 games. I mean, he must have heard it because listen, in sports, you have options, okay? As an athlete, you have options. I talk to my kids all the time, right? When something doesn't go your way, you can fold or you can respond to it. So in game 3, when he had his little Ben Simmons moment, right? Dude, if you don't got something between your legs, that's a foldable moment, right? Foldable moment for an athlete. What does he come out and do the next night out? Right? 40? 40? Right? Or whatever he had in game 4, where he had 40, right?
42.
Yeah, 42, right? Yeah. But so what's his response to that? I'm James Harden. I'm good. Right? When everybody said, oh, he can't do that with you all on the court. Yeah, they can.
Oh, yeah, Joe's the problem, right?
Yes, they can.
That's the other thing. Oh, Joe, they're not the same team with Joe. Are you? Really? No, yeah, you're right. They aren't the same team. They're worse.
Right. Why did I tell you he had to come back in game 2?
And we talked about it that night. To get the lull game, the rust game, out of the damn way. That lull game was happening if they would have waited 2 weeks. If they waited until tonight, that lull game was happening. And it happened. They got it out of the way, and they already, quote-unquote, stole momentum because they took the road trip and they split it. Yep. I understand the argument. I was playing that side. I'm like, oh, well, if you get blown out in game 2, maybe Boston steals all momentum that you took from them in game 1. Understood. But it's also about how you follow it and you command your homestand, which, again, you kind of fold in game 3, but then you respond in game 4, and then you do exactly what so many damn people, Sixers fans, Boston fans, National fans, said was impossible. Oh, you can't win game 4, and if you're going to win game 4, you can't possibly win game 5. Well,
no, you can't win 2 in a row. You're not going to beat them twice in a row. That's what everybody was telling me. Okay. All right. And the thing is, when you talk about getting him back into the lineup, Joel, it's to get these guys sort of like that rhythm back again, right? Because they sat for a while. So you need that rhythm back. And game 2 and 3 was really fueling out your rhythm again. And game 4 was where this is the rhythm. The rhythm's back. Yo, Riz, what's up, baby? And Harden, KZ, Harden absolutely redeems himself, in game. Now, there's more series to go here. All right. You can be a scapegoat real quick. And, it's not how you start, it's how you finish it. You got to go finish the series. But I can't say enough about the effort. And that goes to leadership and that goes to coaching that's been much maligned in this city. And we asked for this and we got it.
Yeah, to KZ's point, we need – I don't disagree with KZ, right? But we talked about it. We obviously need to finish the series. But we go into a series, especially one of them with being without Joel, and we're like, okay, we need Harden to win us 2 games alone by himself, right? We can argue we lost 2 games because of him, but beside the point. Beside the point, right? We're talking about positives here. We won. So it's like, okay, you did that, right? Maxey had a hell of a game tonight. Let's get one more, right? Let's get one more with the same cast and characters that we had from tonight, and things are probably going to look good around this time on Thursday night, right? That's the formula. This is why I think it goes to our frustrations in the past and sometimes with this team, right? Like we talked about in game 3. Because you can tell very early just by watching this team what kind of night it's going to be, right? If this is the stagnant ISO offense where it's either just James dribble, or just passing it to Embiid on a double team and everybody just standing, you kind of know early what the night's going to be, right? Like you know very early. But tonight, it was so damn refreshing because it was a game where Embiid had a great start and you were moving the ball. It could have been very easy for them to kind of go back into their old ways where, oh, Joe's going, let's all just pass to him and watch. No, they build off of that. It's like, no, Joe's got it going, but no, we're going to get Maxey going, right? We're going to get Tobias Harris going. And James Harden, he's going to come in when we need him. And Danny House is going to go off like freaking Lonnie Walker the fourth, like from last night in the Lakers game. Like they build off of it, and that's what's refreshing because it's so easy to watch the MVP go to work and say, "Oh, our job is done. Superman's in the building. Let's go and watch. Let's have us a night." But
we talked about it in game. Yeah, we talked about it in game 2 and game 3, right? You know, I've been adamant about it. You got to have a Robin to the Batman. Yes. Who's it going to be? Right? What's one of these guys going to step up? Well, the guy who should did in game 4 in James Harden in a big way, right? And then Maxey finally came along in this series, right? Finally, he's gotten comfortable a little bit more in this series and was able to get some big shots to go in for him that can only help him. So not only, and Joshua was right what he said earlier, if Maxey's going like this, we're steamrolling teams. Absolutely. Because if you have 2 Robins to your Batman, nobody's beating you. Nobody can beat you. Like, that's how good the Sixers can be. There isn't many teams that can say, well, guess what? We have 3 guys who can hit you for 30. Not many teams can say that around basketball, man. Mm-hmm. Not many can. And the team you're playing can sort of say it, but they can't even really say it, right? We literally have 3 guys who can go off for 30 on your ass on any given night, where a lot of teams have 2. What? Right? Maybe 1, right? Not many teams have 3. Not saying there isn't any teams. There's not many. And that's why this basketball team's been different. Because a Robin finally supported the best player in the world. You can't do it by yourself. Like you can't win series single-handedly. Like if anybody's ever watched the NBA in their life. You need guys to step up around you. If it's a big shot, right? If it's offensive production, if it's playing great defense, it just doesn't. It's not 1 + 1 is always 2. Like, oh, well, if he goes for 40, we don't lose. Like, you need more than that.
Well, you know what's interesting, right? If I'm the Celtics, okay, because I'm looking at their numbers and I'm thinking, okay, what could be the swing in their favor? Aside from obviously making free throws, because that was hideous by them tonight. I'm sure Boston fans would agree. But something stands out to me. This is another Jayson Tatum game where he goes off close to 40. I believe in game 1 where we won, he had 39 points.
But he shot him out of a game again. That's the difference, right?
His volume games are games where they become a very one-dimensional team.
Right? They're not as good like that to what you're bringing up right now. Like 11 for 27, bro. 11 for 27 is atrocious. That's downright atrocious, right? Where Jaylen's 9 for 16. So, like, Jaylen's efficient, man. Like, I said this from day one. People have given me shit over it, and I don't care. All right? I'm not always right, but more often than not, I'm usually right. All right? I'll say 90%. There's always a 10% people are wrong. That's it. That's all I'm giving myself to being wrong. I said from day one, that offense should run through Jaylen Brown. Because he's a better player.
He's just a better player.
Yes. Jayson Tatum is more like, I don't know. He's considered a star there. And I never really have saw it. I always see, to me, Jaylen's a smoother player. But I mean, listen, when you're guard heavy like that and you don't shoot well, your results are usually a loss.
You know what reminds me of, and it's a weird comparison because I'm flipping sports here, but it's kind of like our conversation. I know you and I have talked about this a lot in the past year, where you have Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, right? But I think you and I would both agree Devontae Smith's the better player. It's a weird thing to say out loud. It's like AJ Brown, all these things. It's like Neither, like AJ Brown's not a bad player. Jayson Tatum's not a bad player, but it's the consistency thing that matters, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, like AJ Brown's is a big play guy.
Yes.
Big play guy, yes. Right? Devontae's a possession receiver. Like they're different. They're different. Like Brown and Tatum are different. They're different. Similar in ways, but they're different. Okay. And I would have always have ran my offense through Brown. I just think he's better.
He's going to give you two on the defensive side too. That's another big thing. Not that Tatum's bad on defense. But
no, he's not bad at all. Tatum's not bad at all. And Yusuf, I appreciate you remembering that. You know, it was from a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And I got a lot of heat, even from Boston fans about it. That I'm delusional. I have no clue what I'm talking about. Tatum's a star. I never said he's not an all-star. I'm not going to say that. I'm not an idiot. I just think Brown's like a little bit better. It's okay to be a little bit better than a guy.
Why do you think, again,
Jaylen Brown averages 32 a night. Okay. I'll just put if he doesn't play with Tatum, you can book that. That dude averages 30 a night if he ain't playing with him.
Bill, I'm sorry. Bill, can I ask you this too? Because Bill says, Tommy, you're coming from a Celtics fan. You're 100% correct. JB has taken the backseat to JT for too long. He showed he was the best in the playoffs last year and again this year. JT can't handle the pressure. Fact. Bill, as a Celtics fan, I'll ask you, and I know Devlin, you're here, so a couple other Celtics fans.
Before you said it should be Smart and Brown, then Tatum. Like Marcus Smart's almost a better shooter.
He's glue. He's glue.
Yeah,
he's glue. And sometimes he gets factored out. Right?
Yeah, sometimes it should be Tatum should be your third guy at times. Now, unless to your point that we're talking about, Ryan, and finish with Bill, unless he's scorching hot. Like this is what guys don't understand. It's feel the game out.
Well, it's coaching.
We talked about that in game 3 with Harden.
Yes.
We talked about the game 3 with Harden. You're not making your shots. So now get rid of the goddamn basketball. Don't shoot us out of a game like you did in game 3. Right? It happens around the league. I get it. Right? You don't want guys to like be scared to shoot.
No.
But like, dude, JT, feel yourself out a little bit, bro.
The fact that the guy
you've Donovan Mitchelled your team.
The guy that the fact that the guy who starts 1 for 9 in the first half, right, the other night, and the ball is still going through him, and Jaylen Brown once again is factored out of the offense. If I'm a Celtics fan, I am flying through the TV at Joe Mazzulla, and I understand like people were saying, oh, maybe JB's a little too passive, right? He's not begging for the ball, but he shouldn't. He shouldn't have to freaking beg for the
He's not a bad teammate, right? So he's not going to go about this.
He's not going to alienate himself and saying it's me or it's my way or the highway. Like he's not.
What was my big reason for this series? Outside of players. What was my big reason? What did I say and say? You get a rookie coach. So don't give me Adoku, right? Or whatever the hell his name was. Okay?
Close enough.
Right? Close enough. Whatever. Doesn't matter. He ran the offense through JB last postseason.
Yeah.
Right? So he made a coaching adjustment. Right? Not that Tatum wasn't a big part of their offense. I'm not saying that. But Jaylen Brown, they ran it through him more. Okay? That's better coaching. We talk about a 34-year-old coach. What power does he have? Like, you know what I mean? It's not a shot at him. He's a young coach. If Doc Rivers, what did Doc Rivers do to James Harden before the season started? This is a dictatorship, right? And what I mean by dictatorship, it runs through him, right? It don't run through you. It runs through him, and then you get yours, right? What did James Harden do all year?
He played selfless basketball. Selfless.
Because you have a guy with stature in the room.
Yes.
Makes sense? If you have a 34-year-old coach, James Harden's like, okay.
I'm here to lock in and get the best out of Joel Embiid. That's my job. If Joel's not here, my job is to be effective, be efficient, be aggressive, and try and get the best out of Tyrese Maxey too. That's the other thing too, which people forget about. It's not just him getting the best out of Joel Embiid. It's him getting the best out of some of the Twitter experts online when we made that trade official. Oh, Tyrese Maxey's never going to get the ball again with James Harden on the court. Really?
James Harden has begged him to shoot in years past. So,
got mad at him.
Yeah, for not shooting. Yeah, I got to pass.
Okay, Bill and some of the Celtics fans in the chat. My question is, right, because we've heard rumblings about this, and I always thought it was two parts. One, because of how Boston Celtics shopped Jaylen Brown in the offseason for Durant, which again I get. Like Durant's Durant. Like like Joel Embiid said a couple years ago. It's like, oh, I can get, Klay Thompson and Steph Curry here. I'll shop myself, right? So where like there's certain players where it makes sense. But either way, there's been a level of frustration, which has been very clear by Jaylen Brown, throughout the media. And I'm a Sixers fan. I'm not in Boston. So if I see it, I can't even imagine how much Boston fans see it like on the grounds, in the arena or at least around it. I'm wondering if it's part of that. And also it's like, listen, I'm that guy, but I still can't get the keys to the freaking kingdom, which is the Boston Celtics. I'm going to walk. I'm going to go, and I'm going to go to the Houston Rockets, for example, who has $63.5 million in cap space to spend this year. I'm probably going to get all NBA or either first or second team, probably second team. I'm going to go there, which, oh, by the way, they have a coach who actually used me correctly, and that his name is Ime Udoka. Do you guys, Celtics fans, believe that? Like, that there's a serious chance that he's gone? Like, what's your thoughts on that, right? Because, again, like, a lot can change if the Celtics win Game 6 and they win Game 7 at home, right? Like, this all goes away. But, like, kind of going into this discussion, you have every freaking game. We say this as Sixers fans. If Jaylen Brown is going, watch out. There is fear in the room in Philadelphia. When Tatum's going off, there is now proof of not only this series, but this season going past, series and series of the past and seasons of the past, to where if Tatum's going off and he's shooting you out of games, like he almost gets 40 tonight, and I think he goes to the line, 14 times? 13 times, right? You're still getting blown out. And Jaylen Brown's getting kind of relegated out of the offense. It's very strange. It's very, very, very strange. And listen, I'm not trying to recreate what the national media did to us with Joel and Ben, even though kind of aged well, because one of them just doesn't want to play basketball anymore. And what I think some people still try to do with James and Joel, right? Oh, they can't coexist. One's better without the other. They can't coexist. And if we just open our eyes, we know that that's not the truth. So I'm interested to see what you guys think of that. And also Sixers fans, right? Because obviously if Jaylen Brown goes to the Western Conference, I'm thinking we're celebrating, right? Because that makes them, the Boston Celtics, that much weaker. Oh, I want to read that super chat. Dead Slayer, he says, I know I shouldn't be looking ahead, and I expect Game 6 to be a dogfight. Yes, you should. But if you handle business Thursday, you have home court throughout the playoffs. That's big. Is that correct? Yeah, I guess that's correct, because then we would be facing, it looks like, Miami, which they don't have a better record than us. And I believe we had either the same record or a better record than Denver, correct? Which obviously they would be the only Western Conference team that could compete with us for that. Thank you for the super chat, though, Dead Slayer. Yusuf, he says, I've always been skeptical about Doc, but he's coached really well in this year. He's coached really well. This isn't at you, Yusuf, because you're right. He's coached really well all year. Right? And I'm not a Glenn guy, right? I probably won't be a Glenn guy until it's not fair for me to say. I won't be a Glenn guy until we win a finals, right? Like, I'm not going to do that, but I'm not a Glenn guy. I'm calling Glenn. That should tell you all we need to know, right? But he's been really, really good this year. A lot of teams with far more talent would have quit, or less talent also would have quit in our situation in late November, early December. First handful of weeks of the season in October too, where you start off putrid. Start off, I think, 0-4. Harden gets hurt, Embiid gets hurt, Maxey gets hurt. You spend November running the two-man kind of tandem of Shake Milton and Tobias Harris. You go into December and you have the best record in the NBA from, I believe, December to late February. Then you look back in the totality of games from, I think the second week in December, the regular season. I think they're the third best record in the NBA. It's a tremendous job. Like, I'm not going to, who am I to say, like, if this is his best coaching job as a Sixers coach, right? Like, I think he did a tremendous job last year, obviously keeping everybody locked in when you had a cancer in and out of the locker room, and running an entire team without a point guard, teaching Tyrese Maxey, who was a 2-guard, going into his first time as a full-time rotational player. It's like, hey, you're going to run the team. It just is what it is. Have fun. And it works. I don't know if it's his year prior where they're the number 1 seed. Like, I don't know, right? But he's been really, really good. And I think it's weird energy when even in their best moments, people still go along with, yeah, but Glenn. Yeah, but Glenn. Yeah, but Glenn if they lose, right? But what do I know? John says, I love that I have coworkers that are Boston fans and I get to stroll into the office and don't have to say, yeah, no, it's keep that energy, John. One more. Martian, JB and Tatum are 5-4 in the playoffs when they combine for 60 points or more. Interesting. Stephen White, from December 9th till the end of the regular season, Sixers have the best record in the league. There you go. Thank you, Stephen. So I shortchanged them. I said top 3. They're actually the best. Bill, I guess this would answer my question, Bill. Honestly, if JT left, they'd be fine. But we got bench guys like Pritchard that can play D and shoot. Great. JB and Smart are the glue. JT is a few things. A ball hog, a baby, and falls under pressure. Good take, Bill. Also, I love hearing that as a Sixers fan. I love that. Umberto. Hey, Umberto. Do you think the Heat would be a bigger test than the Celtics in the Eastern Cup? You're putting me in a box, Umberto. I like that idea because I got to think about this, right? Because I don't want to just be like, no, absolutely not, because I know how this ends, and Jimmy Butler averages 50 against us and we lose in 5. But no, I mean, Boston's a better team. They just are. Like Jimmy and what Miami has done without Tyler Hero, Max Strus, Haywood Hyde-Smith, who was a two-way Sixers player, believe it or not. Like he was a two-way guy for us for 5 years, and now he's playing legitimate minutes in a playoff series in which they're winning. It's a tremendous story, but I color me surprised if we would, get dominated in that series. So no, I would say I'd be very confident in that. Also, Embiid versus Bam, historically, he's done a good job. Like, I know Miami runs that 2-3 zone, which kind of gives us fits at times, but, I mean, if we can't beat a 2-3 zone in 2023, then what the hell are we doing? Jesse, Ryan, what do you think about Randall saying maybe they want it more than us? Do you think he leaves the Knicks? I think he leaves the Knicks regardless, right? Because I think the Knicks are in that situation where they got to start moving, shaking some things. I don't think that's like where people are like, oh, he's giving up. I think that's just like he's saying that to his teammates, being like, listen, maybe they want it more, kind of like trying to get a little rallying cry out of them. Who knows? He's got to be more consistent, though, before I take any value into what he says.
Why is Umberto? I love you to death. Can we stop looking ahead, please? We have business to take care of. Like, we shouldn't even be talking about the next series or any of that.
You know what I said, Tom? You know what I said?
Philadelphia.
I said he's putting us in a box. I said if I answer this either way, if I'm saying I'm confident, I'm like, okay, I know how this ends. We're losing. Jimmy Butler's averaging 50, and we're losing in 5 to Heat.
Yeah, we're listen. If we get there, we're not losing to the Miami Heat. So I just want to make that clear to the people. So it's not going to happen. So let's get through what we got to get through first.
One more.
Yeah, well, maybe 2. Mr. Slayer, here's the thing. Horford's been super cold from 3, and it's glaring to whereas years past, he's killed us with timely threes. Yeah, he has been. Hasn't been good enough, but you know how he is at times, right? Appreciate the super chat. Like, he's a game 6 away from making 5 of them, right? So, Celtics team's battle tested with a lot of things, right? So when we look ahead to a game, a game 6 preview, they're going to give you everything they have. Like, I don't expect this basketball team to come to Philly and lay down. We're going to have to come and play our best basketball to close this series out. Because if you don't, you're going back for game 7, which I could honestly see happen. But on the other end of it, I can see the Sixers going and taking care of business, right? I mean, you're a nail in a coffin away, right? That coffin's almost shut. Can you shut it down at home? Is it too much energy at home? Do you think this series is an easier series to close out on the road for a basketball team that's played really well there? If we're going to be honest, they played extremely well there. Honestly, better than they played at home. Right? The Sixers have played better in Boston than they played at home. Can that change in game 6? Right? Does the energy that the crowd brings you, can you use it and channel it? Or does it not make you nervous because you're a pro? But you know what I mean? Does it? I don't know. How does it go for us? Right? That's the question that I have. Either way, I think I had the Sixers win this series before it. I haven't winning it now. But I could see this going 7, and then everybody back off the wagon, and the Sixers going and winning another one there. I can easily see it. I know how this city works. I know how this fan base works. I know how every fan base everywhere works for the most part, right? They're quick to jump on, and they're quick to jump off. And if the Sixers lose game 6, everybody, my God, this is over. No way we're winning 3 in Boston. That's how this kind of shit ends. I've said it before the series even started. This is how it ends. You get Boston in the second round. Milwaukee gets knocked out. Oh, why don't they reseed? Of course we get Boston. We're not going to beat them. Okay. All right. That's how the curses end. And our curse is second rounds. That's what our curse is. Right? That's what it's been our curse. We haven't won an NBA championship since 81. Think about that. It's a long time.
I haven't gotten out of the second round since I was a friggin' child, like a baby.
Right?
I have not as a
01?
Yeah, like I didn't appreciate it. I was 4.
You didn't know basketball at 4.
I didn't even know what a basketball. No, I was playing. I had the little Fisher Price. So I won't do that to myself. I won't.
But we've sat through a lot. I mean,
yeah, a lot of hell.
A lot
of hell. And it's like
if there's a fan base that deserves it, it's us.
Yes. Just give us something, right? It's nice to win one. To quote Kevin from The Office, it's nice to win one. To answer your question, Tom, right? And like, listen, like there's many ways, right? Like what you said, the easiest way for it to swing Boston's way is for Horford to not go 0 for 7 from the field. That's the easiest one. But then I look at it, and again, it's like, is Tatum going to play any better? He had 36. Brown, like, are they going to suddenly run the team through Jaylen Brown? They haven't all year. I hope they don't do it. I hope they don't do it, but like I don't see them being like, okay, now we're going to do it. Mark Smart was in double figures, right? Like, sure, you can get something out of Brogdon. Brogdon sucked tonight, where he's been really good for them. He's kind of been like their third star. But honestly, I'm honestly looking at this, and I'm saying to myself, if they lose game 6, the Sixers, I think this is a game we're coming out of it saying that we lost it, not they won it. Honestly, because whether that's a Harden, indictment game, Maxey being passive, I just think this series changed when they were getting everything they wanted, the Celtics, in the first 3 games in the paint. Right? Obviously, game 1 with no Joel. Game 2, when Joel was figuring out, even parts of game 3, they were getting, and that's with Joel having like 5 blocks in those games. This series really shifted. And now that there's a role, they move the ball even when Joe's going. It's a different team. It's a really different team to where if they revert, then you lose, right? But I think it's in firm control, right? Firm control.
Yeah, you hate to say like firm control yet, right? Just because it's Philly, but
You're right.
if they come play their style of basketball that they've played over the last 2 games, they're going to make it hard for Boston. But
they have the formula, yeah.
But now they're going to get their best punch right now. That's what you're going to get. So, are you able to withstand that? Because I would assume that's kind of going to happen early in the basketball game, right? So, are you have what same energy? What same energy? Vitaly have what same energy? I don't know what energy. I'm not supposed to be excited. Like I'm not, like, what am I supposed to say? Like I'm just telling you that. I'm just telling you this is how I felt about this. I'm not telling you that's going to come to fruition. It's just how I felt about this series. I don't, I'll have the same energy. I'll be a mess. What do you want me to tell you? I'm not going to be happy. But I mean, Bill is right, because I do think that the officials want this to go 7.
Oh, they want every second of this. Every possible second of this.
So, I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to go 7, though. Right? So, listen. If they come out and the Sixers have their energy like they've had, and they play with their hair on fire but controlled, I don't know how. I mean, there's ways that they beat you.
Sure.
But, I don't know. It's not easy for them. And did you take their life? Did you take their soul a little bit tonight? That's the other question, right? Like, this is a big win. So, they're the ones who have to go to the locker room saying, damn, we got doored in our own building. Right? Like, they get doored in their own building. They didn't just lose the game. They get doored in their own building. Is that easy to respond back from? I don't know. Like, we're going to find out game 6, but I'm going to venture to say no. I think that's hard too. And they're a resilient group. But, man, if we just come out with the same, we saw it early, just the rebounding. Just the rebounding alone, you see guys going up high for boards. right? Hitting our threes early. That's all you got to do.
We did things that usually happen to us, right? We're usually on the other side of that. And Tom, to your point on like, did we take their soul? It's a good question because like my first thought is no, because they have far too many veterans that have been in this spot to be like, we've been through this, we got over it in the past. But here's why I stop with that, right? And this is where I'm going to need Boston fans to tell me or confirm this with me. I know in the finals last year, which again is much different than the second round series, they were down. They were down 3-2, correct? And obviously they did win, right? Like once they got down 3-2, they lost. In the series going up, towards that against Milwaukee, they clearly weren't down at all because they swept the Nets. But against that Miami Heat team, were they ever down against Miami Heat? Were they down 3-2? I don't think they were, because that's the difference, right? They've been up 3-2 in a ton of series. But they haven't been down 3-2 and haven't come back from that. Or at least this team, right?
And they get doored at home.
Yeah,
so not only were they down 3-2, they've never been doored at home.
No.
It's big. It matters. They didn't just lose. I mean, the better team showed up tonight. And I felt the Sixers have been a better team all year. All right, they have 3 more wins than us. Okay, whoop-de-do. We made, that's semantics at that point.
That's 3 friggin' Wizard games. Yeah, that's
exactly. So it doesn't matter. Like, we're the better overall team. We're the better. They have great perimeter defenders, but they don't have the rim protection we have. Right? They just don't have it. They're very good, and I think they're going to come out and they're going to give you their best shot early. But if you withstand that and you have the lead, it's going to be really hard on them. That's where it gets hard on them. If they get out and they get like a double-digit lead early, that's where that can shift a little bit, right? That's where it can shift a little bit. But if they don't come out and they're missing shots early in Boston, wow. Then you start really questioning yourself. Like if they're losing at halftime, I feel really good. Even if Boston's down 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
You just don't want to. You can leave them in the game. You just don't want them. I don't know. You just don't want them to feel like they got control back. That's all.
It's to your point, Tom. Even if we would have won tonight, if it was another, a James Harden big time game winner again, part 3 tonight, they still could have gone into the locker room and said, "Listen, we outplayed them tonight. We had it better on energy, on rebounding, on shooting, all those things, on defense, closing out, transition defense, but they just took it from us. These things happen. They're a very good team." But they can't say that today. They can't say that at all unless they want to look like friggin' idiots. They cannot make that argument. And that's the glaring thing. They had numerous opportunities to take this game and this series away on Sunday, and they had numerous opportunities to come back and show up with energy and completely show, hey, this is our home court. This is what we do. You're not going to win this series. And they didn't do that tonight, which is different.
There's a lot of difference. A lot of differences tonight. A lot of differences in the last 2 games. An old Sixers team loses game 4 after what happened. So, there's been a lot of like little things that, show us that they're different. But now we need to fully see it happen, and that's winning the series. Any way you do it, like, I don't give a shit how you do it. You win game 6, that's even better. I could deal without the stress of a game 7. But any way you close it out, I don't care how you do it.
Oh, I'll take. Listen, if we have to go to game 7 out, we win, fine, right? Like whatever gets us to advance, and we're still playing next week. My worry, right, and this is why, don't even. You're right, but it's like to the Sixers and all their players and the staff. It's like, don't even pretend this is game 7. Pretend it's game 7, right? That this is your last opportunity, because you're not going to have. You haven't had an opportunity like this since 2001, where you're 1 game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. Unless you're in game 7. This is game 6. We have not had this in 22 years. Don't take it for granted against this team.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to be the case at all. You know what I mean? The case would be is Boston comes out like, hot as a pistol and they can't miss. That's how they lose.
Yeah.
You don't know how the Sixers lose. That Boston just doesn't miss, right? We've seen them play that game before too, right? We've witnessed that game before. So it wouldn't be like, oh my God, that's how they lose. I don't think you're going to get I don't think we're going to see a lack of effort or energy or, knowing how important the game is to close it here, right? The way we lose is that they can't miss. That's how you lose. Right, it's pretty basic, keep it as basic as possible because they had the ability to do that.
True.
They had the ability to be really cold, and that's what happens with jump shooters, and come back the next night, and you feel like, dude, are they going to miss a shot? You hope that you get the Tatum slump for one more. Can you get the Tatum slump for one more? Right, because he's a game just from going off, and then that creates a lot of problems for the Sixers. It would, right? So you almost need to keep pressing him and hope he's cold like he's been, especially in the first half of games, right? Especially in the first half.
John, I don't believe so, John. I believe that we had to come home and win Game 6 to force a Game 7. I could be absolutely wrong. I know it's been a few years, but I don't believe so. I think we got blown out Game 5. We won Game 6, and then we went and we obviously know what happened in Game 7. I don't believe we were one win away. I could be wrong, though.
No, I thought we were one win away in Game 7.
Yeah.
Not Game 6.
It's just tough, though, Tom, because, again, this is one of the advantages that we've always had, right? It's that we have that needle mover player, right? It's like, okay, if Maxey going into the game, right? If Maxey has a great game, we win, right? Who's their guy? Right?
Probably, I would say, that goes off and they win. Like if that guy goes off, is that what you're asking me?
Yes. Or somebody that's realistic, that realistically can put up 28 to 32. Something that Maxey can do when he's on, right?
I don't know if they necessarily have that as a third option. It's more like a bunch of different guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then
one
it
guy
is
for 14, another one for 12, another one for 11. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a roster.
Yeah, Brogdon has the opportunity to go for 20 against you. Horford has the opportunity to make in 4 or 5 threes, and
Sure.
that changes it. So they have the options. They haven't been making those shots. So, can we get that to continue? They haven't played well in the postseason at home, Boston, for a minute here. So, they've obviously played a little bit better on the road. But we're going to find out a little bit about them too. How do they come in? How do they react to it? So, that's what we're going to find out.
Dead Slayer with another super chat. Appreciate you, brother. He says, if you think about it, this is the butterfly effect of the Celtics playing around with Atlanta and giving Joe an extra days to rest and heal. Yeah, we talk about that in the moment, right? When Trae Young had that buzzer beater or game-winning shot, I believe it was in Game 5 of that series, and it completely clinched it. It's like, okay, this is going to be from Saturday to Monday. It can seem very small to people, but that's the difference, man. That's the difference between him staying out one game and him missing 3.
Yeah, it is. And they played more games, right? And you have to play more games, more wear and tear. Not saying that's always the case, but when you're talking about shooters and stuff like that, legs are pretty important. So if you don't have your legs fully underneath you, it could give an advantage to the other team a little bit. But tonight was just different in so many ways, and you just hope that, you change the narrative.
It's just it's such a refreshing night, Tom. It's if this is how good we feel after a Game 5 win, I can't even imagine how good we would feel if they are able, the Sixers that is, are able to close it out on either Thursday or Sunday.
Yeah, and like I said, I really, really would love the Sunday close. I think we all would. We prefer probably not wanting to go back to Boston for 7, even though, that could easily take place. Sixers open up as a home dog for Thursday night.
Really?
Yep, +1. Home dog.
You think that's weird at all, Tom?
I thought 7.5 was weird tonight. Saw how that went. So
I think we're getting. I hope it doesn't matter. I have a feeling it will. I believe Scott Foster will be that'll be the crew on Thursday.
okay.
The extender, as he is called on NBA Twitter, the series extender, in which Harden is now, I believe, 0 for 5 in playoff games with Scott Foster.
Okay, so we're winning Game 6 then.
That's how this ends. Scott
Yeah,
Foster. This is how this ends.
Yeah, a lot of changes. A lot of changes.
End of eras. All right, I like that.
I agree with you about the NBA. You know, the NBA agenda. I don't know though. Like, why would the NBA agenda not want the MVP of the league playing deep into the postseason? If, like, you know what I mean, if we're keeping it like equal, like the NBA would want to prove that is their best player. On, like, you know, Joker's won it 2 years in a row. He's not playing in Western Conference Finals, so you know it doesn't help that voting process, right? It doesn't look good when your MVPs of your league are getting bounced earlier than they should, right? It doesn't help. That's not a good look either.
No, it's not a good look when you've got freaking Colin Cowherd on a Monday morning talking about I believe he said the last 5 MVP award winners have not either gone to a finals or have won a finals, right? Like, that's not a good narrative to be going on your biggest regular season award. That's not great. That's devaluing the regular season even more than it already is, which is hard to do at this point.
Yeah, extremely hard to do. Extremely hard to do.
No, as much as we say, and I would understand, like, oh, they want to squeeze every little bit out of this Celtics-Sixers rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in the history of the sport, and they want to get it to a Game 7 where it's going to Boston and all the, you know, the heart racing effects and all that sort of stuff. But also, you know what the NBA probably should want? Somebody who's been scrutinized his entire career, going back to Oklahoma City, top 75 player of all time, James Harden, finally getting over the damn hump. Joel Embiid, the MVP, one of the greatest stories in the NBA. I'm not saying this as a Sixers fan. I'm saying it as a basketball fan. One of the greatest stories of the last decade. One of the, maybe of my lifetime, right? If he ends up going on to win, right? The story of what he came from and how late in his life that he started, you know, playing basketball and everything that he overcome, right? The NBA should probably want to support that too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't buy into the Lakers Celtics with the NBA wants, so that's going to be the 2 teams playing in the finals. I mean, like, it could be. I mean, right?
They won't complain. They won't be upset.
I don't know. It's a little hard to like totally rig that. Like, you can't make jumpers for people, so you know you can get yourself involved, like we saw in Game 4, right, where they were trying, and the Sixers still overcame it. Right? There was a lot of ticky-tack going on in this game where they were trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about it. Didn't work well for them. So it can only go so much, right? It can only go so far.
Bill, I disagree with you, brother. The NBA, they don't want to watch, or no, I'm sorry, nobody wants to watch Denver, 2-time MVP, against the reigning MVP. I disagree with that, right? That's all people have been ripping each other apart for 8 months.
Yeah,
about who's better.
I think that would sell.
That would be, I'm pretty sure.
Sixers Suns would sell. Sixers Lakers would sell. Sixers Warriors
would sell.
Any of them are going to sell at this point, right? You get the Knicks to sell if they got there.
Oh my God.
You can sell the Heat if they got there. You can sell Boston if they get there. You can sell the Sixers if they get there. Every team's sellable. So, I mean, the Sixers are a top 5 market. So they're absolutely sellable, right? On a national scale with the best player in the world. And whoever would get there would sell against that. Whatever one of those 4 teams in the West would sell versus Joel Embiid. They just would. I mean, it doesn't even, you know what I mean? I get it. Like, you think ratings wise, okay, Lakers, Celtics, okay. But I think there's other ways that those ratings can be sky high too. Obviously, Denver and Philly, I think, would be sky high.
Yeah, we're not in the stage anymore where we're talking about, will Timberwolves Bucks be sellable, right? Like, we're not arguing for that, right? We're talking about top 75 players of all time, alongside of, one of the top coaches ever. At least he's ranked that, right? Along with an MVP candidate, top 5 market, going up against Steph Curry, LeBron, Jokic, KD, and Devin Booker, right? Like there's very, very, very few ways where the NBA can come out of this and being, damn, this sucks.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what do you got? Game 6.
What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do here, Tom? What do you want me to do? You want me to go with my heart on this one, or you want me to sacrifice myself?
Well, I mean, you do what you want. You know what I mean?
I'm going to sacrifice myself. I'm saying I'm keeping with what I had before I had this being a 7-game series. I'll go with a loss. I'll go with a loss by the Sixers, and we'll see you Sunday. I'll play the game.
I think we do it at home. I think we do it at home. I think on the lines of like for the fans, who have sat through a lot. I think that in that way we win it at home because we deserve that. We deserve that moment. Not that we won anything. Like it don't get you in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? It's not taking you to the NBA Finals here, but it's been such a hurdle for us. I think we do it. And if we don't, then I think we're taking Game 7. Then I think that's like a stone cold lock. If we don't win 6, but I think we're going to find a way. I do. The fact that we're a dog again makes me like us a little bit even more. Even though it's +1, it just makes me like us even a little bit more.
KZ, I'll help you out here, brother. If you don't understand why I just did that and why I've been doing this the past week, I'll just leave you there, KZ. If you heard us talk the last hour and 56 minutes and you think I'm just going to magically contradict myself and go with a law, come on, KZ.
Martian 108-101 Sixers well with another 30-point performance. And Ricky, I agree with you. Unless Boston comes out shooting the lights out, I think the Sixers win. So if our defense is still consistent and we're closing out and we're getting handsy and palmsy, I think we win this basketball game. But listen, great to do it after a win. So let's fucking go. Let's go get Game 6 Thursday night. The Wells Fargo will be rocking. That's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. We love you all for tuning in, staying with us throughout the game. Sixers win 115-103 against the Boston Celtics, take a 3-2 series lead, and have an opportunity to close it out Thursday night at the Wells Fargo Center. Exercise the demons again. We love you all. We appreciate you. And we are brought to you by FanUp. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NBA contests, daily MLB contests. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D. You get $50 right at sign up. And we are also brought to you by Philly Sports Trips. And I'm going to let that commercial take you on out of here. So enjoy it and book your trip today. PhillySportsTrips.com.
Hey, Birds fans. Breaking news. The NFL schedule is being released on May 11th, and Philly Sports Trips is already taking deposits for what is sure to be an epic season ahead. Join us in Tampa, LA, Seattle, or when we get revenge in Kansas City. Not ready to fly? Then join us on a bus trip to DC or New York. Sign up now and make sure to mention A2D. Don't miss out on the best Philly fan experience anywhere. Philly Sports Trips customers stay at the best hotels and meet NFL and MLB legends, so book today to ensure that you do not get shut out.
Real quick, getting out of here. They should have Devontae Smith ring the bell again. Just because he's a Celtics fan. It's perfect. It's perfect. We're out of here.